Do you feel the vibes?
What's up, YouTube? It's Carolina Calvin coming back to you with another video, and welcome to my NFL 2017 Week 8 game recap between the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Carolina Panthers, coming off a 2-game skid, ends up picking up the win 17-3, and the Bucs, the offense has played well. They've been able to put up the yardage, but the defense hasn't. Injuries, just unable to really disrupt the opposing team's offense with any kind of pass rush. That's been plaguing that team all season. But let's start with the numbers. Tampa Bay passing, Jameis Winston 21-38, 210 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks. He was also sacked 3 times. Now, it kind of looks like the injury he sustained a couple weeks ago is still bothering him, because he had some accuracy issues. He had a for sure touchdown to Mike Evans. I believe it's in the 4th quarter, where if he puts a little bit less air under the ball, Mike Evans catches that, and that's a touchdown. He beat his man. But he completely missed that throw. And you saw a couple of throws he missed. Now, partially due to pressure, Carolina was able to get 3 turnovers essentially against him. So that could also be a case, but there were times where, he had a clean pocket and he just missed guys. But let's go down to the rushing. Doug Martin, 18 carries, 71 yards. Jameis Winston, 3 carries for 13. And Kuechly Rogers, 1 carry for 1. I thought Doug Martin did a really good job. And because of just Carolina's inability to put up more points, despite being able to move the ball, it really allowed them to stick to the running game. And I felt as though they had some good runs. Obviously didn't yield a touchdown. But what really hurt this team, penalties. Penalties and timely penalties and timely turnovers when they were moving the ball, when they got the ball on the plus side of the field. They really self-inflicted. Now, partially due to Carolina, because a lot of it was holding on on the offensive line, just because the Panthers' pass rush has been really good. So that definitely plays into it. But you've been seeing this a lot with this Tampa Bay team, where they have so many issues when you move the ball effectively and you get down there. Penalties back you up, false starts, holding, hands to the face, stuff like and then turnovers. Not gonna win too many games when that happens. But going over to receiving, Brake, 4 receptions, 64 yards. Mike Evans, 5 receptions, 60. Sean Jackson, 3 receptions for 37. Humphreys, 4 receptions, 26. O.J. Howard, 2 receptions, 16. Goodwin, 1 reception, 8. And Doug Martin, 1 reception for 4. I felt as though, like I said, Jameis Winston was missing throws down the field. It's just as simple as that. The coverage was good at different points in the game, but there were times where you saw a guy was open, he just misses him, or he has to throw it before he really wants to. But with the talent they have, Mike Evans, Sean Jackson, you saw O.J. Howard's a rookie. Obviously, he's still getting accustomed to playing in the NFL. But he has some talent. You still got Doug Martin. I felt as though Doug Martin has some good runs. It's just mistakes. Mistakes is really what cost Tampa Bay this game. Defensively, they didn't play very well. Yeah, you look at the score. The Panthers only scored 17, but they weren't able to get any pressure on Cam for the majority of the game. I felt as though they did a good job against the run of Carolina, but Carolina's run game's not that good. But the fact they weren't able to get pressure, Tampa Bay only has 7 sacks on the season. They didn't get any sacks in this game. They only have 7 sacks on the season, which I believe, if it isn't last, is second to last in the NFL. So it's been pathetic. They have to bring in some pass rushers to really get after the quarterback. And you got Gerald McCoy, but he's been too inconsistent this season, and there are other guys around him making plays. specifically, especially in this game where you're playing against a banged up offensive line of Carolina of the Panthers, and the guys they brought in aren't playing well. You see all the other games. You look at last week against the Bears. Bears were able to get all over Cam Newton, really dominate the offensive line. You just didn't see that in this Tampa Bay game. Cam was getting time to throw. Now, Cam was just making bad decisions with his throws. So I'm gonna get into that. Let's go to the Carolina Panthers side. Cam Newton, 18 of 32, 154 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. And most of Cam Newton's interceptions have come on third down. I believe it was like 10. 10 of his interceptions have come on third down. So you could tell he's really forcing the ball down the field. And it gets into times where on third down, it could be 3rd and 4. He'll throw the ball 20 yards down the field on 3rd and 4. McCaffrey was open majority of this game. Against these linebackers, he was open majority of the game. Cam should have been looking his way. Cam needs to start. He needs to really learn to, and it's amazing saying a guy who's been in the league as long as he has. He has to be able to check the ball down, let his guys make plays. Especially a guy like McCaffrey, you brought him in to make plays like that. You're always looking for the home run instead of moving the chains. At least you can, if you don't yield any points out of that drive, you can have a chance to, put back the other team up on the other side of the field. Swap field positions, which would definitely help out a good defense, which could possibly allow you to get shorter fields. So, Cam's always looking for the big throw, and it gets really annoying. And that's the reason why he throws so many picks, is because he'll throw it in double coverage, just trying to get that big play, hoping the guy will go up and get it, because he has a tall receiver like Devin Funchess or Kelvin Benjamin. But on to Carolina's rushing. Cam Newton, 11 carries, 44 yards. Jonathan Stewart, 11 carries, 34 yards. Curtis Samuel, 1 carry for 11. Henry Artis-Payne, 4 carries for 8. Christian McCaffrey, 4 carries for 3. Okay. The Panthers' run game wasn't great. Oh, and Jonathan Stewart had the lone rushing touchdown. Panthers' rushing game isn't that good. If your quarterback, let's say multiple weeks of leading the team in rushing, it's a problem. And he's a big part of the rushing attack. He's gonna run the ball. The running game hasn't been good. It's partially play calling. Jonathan Stewart, some of the plays, stretch plays, he's too slow. Offensive line isn't blocking well enough. So, they're gonna need to get another running back. Cameron Artis-Payne, never really liked him. Christian McCaffrey, I think, is more a receiver. I feel as though, coming out of the backfield, yeah, he can, you can hand the ball off to him, but I feel as though he's more the receiver against linebackers because he's a great route runner, great hands. I think that's what he should be utilized at. Looking at Carolina's receiving, Christian McCaffrey, 5 receptions, 49 yards. Kelvin Benjamin, 3 receptions, 39 yards, and a touchdown. Ed Dixon, 4 receptions, 24 yards. Curtis Samuel, 2 receptions for 15. Russell Shepard, 1 reception for 14. Devin Funchess, 2 receptions for 11. And Cameron Artis-Payne, 1 reception for 2. Now, Carolina was able to take care of the ball. You had the lone Cam Newton interception, which was just a terrible throw. I think it was Chris Conte that got the interception. So there comes your lone turnover. Definitely an improvement, especially over last week where there were, well, it was 2. It was 2 interceptions. And just really bad play by the offense. I thought the offense played better. The first touchdown drive that they had was a really good drive. Cam Newton was throwing the ball short. A couple nice runs. And you get into the end zone. They really able to establish the run. Wasn't able to stay consistent throughout the game with that. But that's the type of offense that they need to have. unfortunately, run game hasn't been great. You know, it's something they always trying to do. It just hasn't been great. Looking at team stats, time possession: Carolina 32 minutes 11 seconds, Tampa Bay 27 minutes 49. Total yards: Carolina 254, Tampa Bay 279. Most of that is because you're down 2 scores in the fourth quarter. You're gonna put the ball in the air. Third down efficiency: Carolina 8 of 17, Tampa Bay 2 of 12. Penalties: Carolina's 5 penalties, 51 yards, and Tampa Bay 6 penalties, 55. And you're looking at this pretty even. It's the penalties themselves. For Tampa Bay, at least 3 or 4 of those were drive-killing penalties. Knocks them out of field goal range, really destroys the drive, at that current team. And also, I didn't talk about Carolina's defense. I thought Luke Kuechly played well. I thought the pass rush, Juice Peppers did force a turnover. He forced a fumble on Jameis Winston. The secondary, Bradbury, I thought played well. Wardley made some plays. That's a surprise, but he made some plays. Mike Adams made some plays. Thomas Davis. I felt as though the whole defense, they've been playing well all season. Outside of really the Saints game as a whole. Saints game is the only game you can say, well, from beginning to end, they were horrible. For the most part, they played well. They played well against the Patriots, played well against the Lions. Well, for the Patriots and the Lions, it wasn't really to the fourth quarter, like the last 7 minutes of the fourth quarter, where the teams were able to move the ball on them. But I felt as though, for the most part this season, they played well. Just really been the offense. So, hats off to the guys on defense. I like what the defensive coordinator's been doing, bringing more pressure. They've been getting pressure with just 4, but he'll still bring more. He'll bring Thomas Davis. He'll bring Luke Kuechly. He'll bring a corner blitz, which one of the Captain Munderland corner blitz caused the first interception by Jameis Winston. So he's willing to bring pressure, unlike in previous years where Carolina almost went into prevent defense the entire game. That's why teams were able to move the ball on them, especially last season. But like I was talking about with the penalties, back-breaking penalties for Tampa Bay. And turnovers. Tampa Bay had 3, the 2 interceptions by Jameis Winston, and the fumble, he should have just took the sack. Because they would have had a chance at a field goal at least. But he tries to throw the ball to kind of throw it away or whatever. And he has it in one hand and ends up getting knocked out of his hand, fumble. This is the kind of plays you just don't need to make when you have a chance to gain points. Like I said, Carolina had the 1 turnover, which is the Cam Newton interception to Chris Conte. Looking ahead, I believe Carolina next week has Atlanta, I want to say. I'm about to look at the schedule real quick. But I believe they have Atlanta next week. Yes, they do. They have Atlanta next week, which is another big division game. Both teams are 5-3. I believe Atlanta's 4-3. I have to make sure because they had a bye. So Atlanta's 4-3, Carolina's 5-3. So that's another big division game that I think Carolina needs to win to stay close to New Orleans. New Orleans currently leading the division, and Tampa Bay, they actually play New Orleans. So you're gonna have all division teams in the NFC South are going to be playing against each other next week. That's a big one for Tampa Bay. It's another division game. If you lose, you go down 2-6. And you're pretty much going to be out of reach of New Orleans and whoever wins that Carolina-Tampa Bay game. So definitely is a must win. This game was a must win, but they just went out there and didn't play too well on both sides of the ball. But let me know what you think down in the comment section. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Thanks for watching.